Hallelujah. 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 Thank you, everybody. We thank God for today and the opportunity to have this very interesting discussion. And this is the brainchild of Reverend, and immediately I heard it, I took it up. So today we have a very interesting collection of people, and okay, I won't jump to the end. Let me start. So we are going to discuss the very different types of work that we have. We have the 9 to 5 employees like myself. And then we have those who are entrepreneurs, those who start their own businesses. And then we have those who are also living in both worlds. Okay. So we are going to call on about 2 people for each of these segments. And then they'll come and join us here. We have a number of questions. They'll tell us how they manage to do this. So let's start by having that open mind, ready to learn and ready to understand, so that we can all start to scale up. And now to introduce our entrepreneurs, we have first our very own helpful brother, Mr. Obed. Joining Obed is, I'm a bit biased, my own beloved, my wife, serial business entrepreneur, who sells anything, even to her own husband. All right, join us upstage. For those joining us for the word of 8 to 5, we have Miss Doreen Boafo. Yes. I know a lot of us don't know what she does, but don't worry, she will introduce herself and tell you everything. She's very helpful. If you know her, you know that you can unlock a very difficult section of our economy. All right. We have also joining her Mr. Richard Mensah. Awesome. Okay. And then we also have, for the world of both, those who dabble in both 8 to 5 and entrepreneurship, we have Mr. James Aite. And then our very own Miss Nanama Ijiwa Donkop. I'll just let them prepare. The first part, everybody is going to tell us what they do and how they got to that point in their journey, how they became other 8 to 5 entrepreneurs, or how they do both. And time is very, very sensitive here, so sharp. The short version, okay. Those who want to know more will also have to come and see you and find out the full version. But we'll start I think from the entrepreneur side, and they will tell us how they became entrepreneurs and what they love about becoming entrepreneurs. Yes, so we'll start with you, Brother Obi.
My name is Obed Crane. I'm the founder and CEO of Extreme Consult. So Extreme is primarily a graphic design company. We design, we print, and we brand. I'm an entrepreneur not by chance, but by choice, because it's something I decided to do way back when I was still at the university. So the journey began 2008, 2009, and reading on till now. Started as a one person, and we are now a team of 14.
Good morning, church. Thank you, Mr. Dakwa. My name is Abigail Chira Dakwa, and I'm the CEO and founder of GH Smile Plus. And I travel to be from the banking, coordinating, administration, to starting my own business, working together, and now I have, I think I have 6 staff plus myself, 7, including my husband, 8.
Hello, family. I'm honored to be on this platform, indeed. I'm grateful. My name is Doreen Boafo. My husband is Richmond Boafo. Yeah. I am in the tax regime. I work with Ghana Revenue Authority. Yeah. So I'm a tax woman. How I got my job, it's a miracle, and it's my greatest testimony, which, if time will permit, I would love to share. So I'm here to, scale up.
Good morning, church. My name is Richard Mensa, and I work for a loyalty insurance company as a branch manager. I've been in the insurance industry quite some time now, for about 20 years. Yes, and I got to hear, I think Ruby and Pastor knows the story. It's a story for another day. I would say by accident, because growing up, I wanted to be a radio presenter. Yes, that was my first choice when I was going to university. Second choice was to become a medical doctor. Yeah, because I like entertainment a lot. I joke a lot, and so I'm here. The journey has been good, and on a daily basis, I oversee the operations and the risk management of the branch. So thank you very much.
Good morning, church. My name is James Aiti, and I work with the military hospital as an admin manager. I work with soldiers, and I'm a civilian, so you can imagine. So that's one part of me. Interestingly, with the military hospital, I work from 8 to 2. So you can get a drift. Then we have several companies. I run Royal Piombo as a car business company. We also service other businesses with so many solutions, but we'll come to that later. And I also work as a supporting entrepreneur for my wife, who runs 2 factories for spices, and also we are starting the cassava powder, plantain powder, and other powders within the enclave. So that's what we're doing.
Wow. Let me see you and I fix this. So my name is Nana Madonko, and my husband is... Sorry. Anyway, so I have been in the mining sector for the past 12 years, and I think I've moved from one company to the other, which is quite interesting. And then that is one part of me, and there is another part where I have a business running, which is your usual lady stuff, shoes, bags, and all that. And I work with 2 employees on that. And then I also took upon myself to pick my daddy's business, and then I started using that through the construction side, because I am into supply chain, so I think I can go deeper into those kind of areas. So I took opportunity to just take it up and then fix that. I think I love what I do because it gives me the sense of multitasking. I'm able to learn more, and then you see to work with a lot of people, especially when it comes to the construction teams and all that, and get to know so much. So I think we'll talk more as we go on. Thank you.
I believe we can all agree with me that we have a very interesting cast of people to touch on every aspect. And well, I'll start with our entrepreneurs. Everybody wishes to own their business. Everybody wishes to start a business. We all have ideas. We've seen problems that we think or we believe we can solve. We can do something about it. But most of us are still here. So let me ask this question. I mean, what does it take to start? What does it take to actually start and be successful? And just add in there the thing that you have as a skill or knowledge that helped you to actually start your own business. So please, our entrepreneurs.
So I'll start by saying it starts by making a decision. A lot of times people go into things with just one leg, thinking that if it doesn't work out, they will have something to fall on. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it's a decision that you don't have a plan B. So with that sense, you go in fully with both legs. So for me, because I had trained as a graphic designer at the university, deciding to be an entrepreneur in the same discipline wasn't so much of a difficult thing, because I had just two choices. Either I'll find myself a job or I'll start something for myself. So my journey started with that one decision, that this is what I want to do. Then, with regard to the skill, I've always said it, even in this house before, that I'll always put skill over passion, because passion is never enough in this entrepreneurial journey. You can have all the passion. If you don't get the right training, there's just no way you can succeed with this business of entrepreneurship. The last thing I would like to add is that whatever it is that you want to run, you being the person who wants to start it should be well-versed or well-trained in that particular thing. A lot of times you have people like in our industry who have the money. So they will come in, buy the equipment, get the place, set it up. But you realize that few years down the line, it is gone. The reason being that entrepreneurship is mostly a lonely journey. And you have to be able to step up for yourself, because you can't start with all the right elements. Like you can't have the right capital, you can't have the right equipment, you can't have the right people. But once you are the person leading it and charging it, then like I said, you don't have a plan B. So whatever it is, you have to make it work. For me, that is what worked for me. Decision.
I want to specially acknowledge my boss. Some years to come, I think 14 to 13 years, when I started my business to Uncle Obetu was there. So I want to use this opportunity to say I'm grateful. Yes. He helped me design my logo, and it's a mind-blowing. So I always tell everybody to see him when you want to start something. For what my boss has said, I want to top up with mentorship. And with the mentorship, it's also apprenticeship. When you want to be an entrepreneur, you should have someone you are looking up to, someone who has been in the area you are working. You have to get closer to the person or love the person from a distance, but get the opportunity to learn wise and best thing from him whilst you are afar. Because most of us, when you come to us, we are not able to open up. We have our secrets, especially with products that we have made ourselves. I'm in the crafting area, so we train. When you come, you see what we do, and you ask questions and we train you. But with the products and services and items like food and other things, you need to have someone you talk to. And so that is with the mentorship. And I also want to talk about resources available. If there are items that you want to stand upon, like I've heard cassava factory. You can't go to somewhere like, I don't want to mention him and get it wrong, but you can't go to a place that the resources are not there and start a factory there. You need to get the resource available in your locality. And when we also come to our craft, to availability of supplies. If you want to do boxing and you don't have anybody somewhere who will do the supply chain for you, always make sure you get a raw material, something you will build upon. You will not be able to work on it and develop your talent. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. I think we all agree. We have it. All of us have it in us. You are all in. Like Brother Obi said, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to go all in. And skill over passion. I think that one really rang with me. You have to gather the skill so that you can use it. It's not about being passionate alone. That helps. That will just help you in a few steps. But you have to have that passion. You have to be decisive. My wife shared about mentorship and so many resources available. I've seen her go to YouTube, learn, practice, and then take it out there. And also getting available supply. Because once you start and the customer start coming, if you don't have supply, the customers will go. So, yes, thank you very much for sharing that. Now, I'll quickly move on to our 9 to 5s. Now, I just want to talk about a few things, maybe 2 or 3 things that have helped you in your career. And if maybe you've had a promotion or you had a staying power, because people have come into that field and left. People have come in and never found success and left. But if you've had that long staying power, that understanding of your industry, what are the things that you've had to have to be able to stay in that place? And I think you can share about your story about how you got the job in the first place, because that's always inspiring for those who are still in the market looking for jobs. Yeah, so.
Thank you very much. Okay, I started as a NAPCO intern in 2018. When we started, we were about 31 in the same office, NAPCO interns. So I did NAPCO for 3 years, and then in 2021, we were given contracts by GRA. So by 2022, we were left with about 21 or so. So we were all hoping that something good would come out of it. But so somewhere along the line in 2022, I lost hope, actually. So I prayed. I told God that I'm giving myself up to 5th of December 2022. If I do not hear anything about the permanency thing and whatever, I'll carry my child and then pack my bags and then go to my husband, because that's where I belong. I have to live with my husband. That is what marriage means. So I prayed that prayer and then I left it there. So in November 2022, a friend called me, I've received a message for aptitude test. Check your mail. I'm sure you have also received it. I checked my mails, my spam, everywhere. Hey! There was nothing there. I called him. He said, no. Once I've received it, you have also received it, so check it. It was a Friday. Friday, no show. Saturday, Sunday, no show. So Monday, the Spirit of the Lord told me, call your administrator. She was then outside the country. So I called my husband first. And what he also said was, call admin, because he knew I was very close to admin. So I called admin and I said, this is what I've heard. I said, message. You see, no, admin. I said, no, 5 people were selected from our office and you are part of it. So check your emails. I said, no, admin, I've not received anything. I said, give me your mail. So I sent her my mail and then she called head office. Young Kombra. That evening I received the first mail. Praise the Lord. So I got my mail. And then my colleague called me again that he has received a link for the aptitude test. I had not received it. So when head office got my email, they were supposed to give it to KPMG because they were conducting the aptitude test. But they didn't do that. So I called admin again. And admin said, hold on, because I'm not here, it's the secretary that is acting, so I can't bypass her and then do the work. So let me call the secretary. And God being so good, that day, the secretary, the acting office manager, they worked on my case until 9:30 p.m. before they closed. And they called me that it's been resolved, so I'll get the link soon. So on the 3rd, on the 4th, I still didn't get the link. And the deadline for the aptitude test was 5th of December. Because of anxiety and fear and all that, I didn't even know the date I was in. So on the 5th, around 11 a.m., the deadline was 5th, 12 p.m. Around 11 a.m., I got the link. I got the mail. And then quickly, I went into my room, put on my laptop, did the aptitude test. Fast, I was just answering them. And God being so good, I have these games I play on my phone. They got mind games. So most of the aptitude test questions were centered around that game. I said, hey, God, is this what you can do? So I was just answering them. And then I completed before the 12 o'clock noon. So after everything, I sat down and I was reflecting on all that has happened. How come? And I realized that, I prayed and I told God on the 5th. So I am sure he wanted me to know that he is with me. That is why everything delayed. And I alone got my link on the 5th of December. So I praised God. And I said, this is a testimony. I have to share. It has always been on my mind. Any opportunity I get, when I talk to people, I tell them how I got this job. And I thank him for giving me this platform to share this testimony. I want you to know that God He's there. He listens to us. If you have not received your miracle, it's not time. Just hold on. He will talk one day. Yeah, he will talk. So 2018, 2024, 2023, we finished with our training. And then my admin called me again. You will not be posted to Temao. I'm about to rough. So I suggest you go to your husband on a silver platter. People were working for their postings. I didn't know anyone. I just pray and then posting letter, and I had been posted to Sunyani TSC. It's a miracle. God has been so good. God has been so good. So I have been with GRA from 2018, but permanently for 2 years, from 2024 till now. I love my work. It has been one of my dream companies. So working with GRA, I love it. I love helping taxpayers, making them do the right thing, and then oh yes, I love being a tax officer. I want you to do the right thing so that in future when I'm not there, you thank me later. That is what's the reason why I work happily. You know, when finally my appointment letter was handed over to me at the head office, all I could say was, Father, I am humbled. That was all I said. And then since then, I have served my role with total humility. Total humility. Please trust in God. He will do it for you.
Trust in God. Go ahead, Brother Richard.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I have a lot to say, but because of time, I've scaled from the hustling aspect of life to become a corporate manager. I've been a taxi driver before. I've sold in Kantamantu before. I know how to. I've been a tiler before, and I've worked in the construction sites before as a laborer. Before getting myself to where I am today, I love what I do. Has it not been the grace of God, I wouldn't be where I am. I come from, that's why I have a lot of things to say, but I think what have kept me here is determination to succeed. That's it. Determination to succeed. Looking at my background, my father had, but he is a Muslim. I am a Christian. And he has vowed that anyone who disobeys him by not becoming a Muslim, you are out of his way. He has a lot of money. He's a former MP, a lot of money. My mother's side, we don't have. So, the mama, just let your mother take care of you. But I look at my background, my mother doesn't have uncles who are all taking care of their own. So I said, I want to make it so I can take care of my mother, build for my mother, buy a car for my mother, do all the things that she has not been able to enjoy in life for her. And so that is why I'm saying that I got to where I am by accident. A lot of people in my field, it's a bit difficult because a lot of people don't want to get themselves, do the dirty work and become somebody. I'm talking about marketing, sales and marketing. A lot of people see as insurance people, those people that you see, if they tell you the amount of money they are earning, it will shock you. We started as a commission earner, as a salesperson, going around, doing all that. So I have two careers. I have sales and marketing skills, and I have risk management and insurance skills. So here, as a branch manager, I do both. So I do sales and marketing on a daily basis, and I have about 45 agents across here, across the 3 regions, and I manage about 7 permanent staff across the region. And one thing that has kept me is these 2 skills: the marketing, sales and marketing skills, and then the risk management skills. But the most important thing that all of us seated here, that we must have, no matter where you are, is the determination to succeed. I was determined to succeed. So I go here. I didn't get the opportunity to go to school to go and learn the radio, whatever, to become a medical doctor. And so someone pushed me. He looked at me and said, "This boy, you don't belong to Cantonanto. You don't belong here. You need to go to school." And then he just pushed me. And at the time I was entering, I didn't have a secondary school certificate. I had just come out of JHS. And I entered. 2 years down the line, I started what we call the private, I wrote the private whatever, WASI. After that, I went to Central University. I said, I have a lot to stay, but we don't have time. And so I am here because of determination. And above all, because of the marketing skills, the sales and marketing, I connect a lot. I build a lot of relationships, a healthy ones. And when I meet you and I build a relationship, I make sure that I build it with integrity. I don't cut corners to build a relationship with you. When you ask me to do something, I do it until you are satisfied. And Brother Obi here has recommended me so many times. And it's because he has seen what I do and what I can do. When I got to here as a branch manager, one of my biggest clients I have in this region, he recommended me to the person. And just by walking through here to here, we have signed a deal that, okay, come and train my workers as a customer, come and train them on customer service. I went there. By the time I got here, she has called Obi and said, but you have this guy. And so, for me to conclude, have determination. No matter where you are, no matter how the journey has been, no matter where the type of boss managing you, have determination that whoever that boss is, you are determined to succeed. Think about the boss. Think about where you want to be in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I know some of these things are almost personal. I can hear the depth of what you're saying, and thank you so much. I mean, as you say, persistence, determination, loving to do the right thing, getting the right skills, sales and marketing, and then building relationships without cutting corners. Thank you for sharing all those things. And now to those of us working in the world of both, okay, it's all about balance. That's the part that I thought about, because I'm in one. Even trying to help wifey here in her home business is not very easy. And I'm just asking this. So how do you find balance between your responsibilities as an employee or a worker and then the demands of your own business? And then what support systems do you have, either skills, people, or whatever, that helps you to run both worlds? Okay, so please, Mr. Ite.
Thank you very much. For me, it comes in handy because I started as an entrepreneur and entered into the. But actually, in the armed forces, we close at 1:30, from 7:30 to 1:30. So in Bema camp, everywhere is 1:30. But because you work in the hospital, normally changeover is at 2 o'clock, so 2. So it means that I have a lot of time up my sleeves. I close at 2, then the rest is mine. So what do I do with it? And you talk about balance. I think that it's important that wherever you work, create relationships that are very healthy and respect. Because when the people respect you in that space, whatever you do aside the work, they will appreciate it even the more because you deal with them regularly. It is very, very important. If they have any business, you are their first option. Anything that you want to do, they will call you first. And most importantly, I say that my wife got into the spice space because I started a meat shop. And I told her that I need spice for my meat. She wasn't into that space. But because of that need, she ventured. And today I have stopped the meat. And she has taken the spice into somewhere else. Never take, should I say, if you fall, your business collapse, don't think that it's a failure. It may be a beginning of another thing coming. Today, we are running 2 factories. One in Jankuba for the ginger and other spices, and one in Jumo around Bechem that we're currently giving. I mean, we don't do politics, but I say this with all humility and thank God for it. MPP gave us one, and NDC has given us one. This is to the glory of God. I mean, it's interesting, but that's how life is. Don't be thinking about those things. No, it will come to a point where nobody will see you this side or that side. You need to work, and that's what it's important. So for me, my timing gives me the opportunity to also help. I do other stuff in China and things. I mean, cars. I have people I deal with. I don't speak Chinese, but my business people are in China. Just 2 days ago, they sent me about pictures about some cars that they want to bring to Ghana. They have sent 50 already. They say, look, we want to market these cars. They are electric vehicles, and we want you to help us market these electric vehicles. They are good. They are bringing first 50. The next 50 is on the way. Hey, but I sit here. I've not been to China before. That's how life is, and God is the center of all these things. So please, let's be serious with our work. Let's build good partnerships. Let's know that everything is possible. Don't limit yourself, and God will direct your path. Amen.
All right. So I would want to speak to the youth here because I have always wanted the opportunity to do so. So when you look at what I do, in fact, I started everything that I do with the mining industry, and then from national service. But it had always been part of me that I want to do business. Knowing my dad was a business person, I decided to take upon his business. But there is something I've learned, because I don't have that time, but it's about the intentionality and your integrity. So when you are at work, you are working. When you are doing your business, it means that you are not using the business, your work time, that's your 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 to do the other one. And it's very, very important. You see, when you don't have a lot of time within your hands, it becomes very, overwhelming. Sometimes you will not be able to work around it, but it's about the intentionality. One of the key things I would also want to focus on, anybody that is very close to me knows about the focus, your vision, and your time value. I think that a lot of the young people feel we are 30, we are 28, but trust me, when you go and look on your team details, you realize that you have a few years, so you can't wait till 50 before you do some of the things that you do. So the balance in what you do with regards to entrepreneurship and then doing your own work as in a 9-to-5 person, it's about you being very focused. You have to, and you really have to also have a vision for whatever thing that you do, and then sacrifice. Do sacrifice a lot. You see, it's the time you are trying to build something, the time you are trying to do another thing. I know sometimes you want to chill, you want to do all that, but trust me, when it starts affecting your pockets, you understand what I'm talking about. And you don't have to wait because you think, oh, where I've gotten to, I'm okay. You are not. And you say you need brady, but try your best to sacrifice as well. The support systems that we get in times of these limited seasons becomes the train yourself very well. I have an accounting background, but I have a supply chain background as well. It means that when you are in the working space and then you have another thing going on, you can't sit there and think that somebody knows better in what you are doing. I remember when I wanted to start a particular business, I had to go and learn how to fix nails. So I can actually do it, just that I don't practice it. So it's something that I have in my mind. So it means that you really have to tune yourself. Don't assume that, oh, construction is, if it takes you to do engineering and a small engineering, just do it. Certification, get it. So that at least when somebody is talking about what's your business, you can easily punch list them and let them know that this is it. And then I think finally, I would want to talk about documentation. A lot of us start business and we don't try to even document anything. When you are doing something at the workplace, like what I do, a very tight canal, and then you still want to be an entrepreneur, it means that you have to take your documentation very serious. I personally have issues with people that start anything that they do without documenting them, because I think you wouldn't know where you are going. Can we start documenting everything that we do? Try and put it down. Say something to somebody, ask questions. Try and do everything that you think you want to do with a little bit of document. If you don't understand, ask questions. Don't assume that, oh, me the man can person starting join business. Don't do that. Try and document them. And then finally, I'm glad my other lady talked about God. God is the most factor in here. If you really want to succeed in everything, don't take him out. If you do, because even if before you start, you have to ask God. So I believe that when you start with God and then he gives you all the direction, you'll be able to make it. So my youth here, please do well to take some of the people. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe they all deserve a round of applause for such insightful and beautiful shares. Thank you, our panelists. And it has chopped almost all our time, but this is Scale Up. I want you to quickly, just say something. Somebody is starting something in his bedroom. How does he move it to a shop? Somebody has one machine. How does it grow, increase it? Let's all find something in our areas to help those who are listening. Just like a final submission on what they need to do to grow.
Okay, so I would put in a very small story about scaling up, and again about decisions. So I had run a stream for years. We had rented all throughout. As an entrepreneur, one thing is this: you should be ready for delayed gratification. One morning, I go to our former place, and at the time, by the grace of God, I had purchased this Ford Explorer. It was very posh. And that morning, when I walked to our former place, I had parked the vehicle there, and I was standing in a space, looking at the space, the office, and then the car. And I had a prompting that this is not right. This is not right in the sense that somebody can come here and see this as my car and that as my office. And it takes a lot of pain to delay gratification, because you would want to enjoy the life that you want for yourself. But that is what entrepreneurship is all about. You should be able to sacrifice the things you love for the sake of the growth of the business. So I discussed with my wife that we can't keep this vehicle, because I want us to build a stream for ourselves. And even though the money was not going to be sufficient to put up a new place, I knew that if I believe so much in a stream, then I should be able to sacrifice something that is dear to me for the building. And that very week, I sold the car and started to put up the building. It took a lot of pain, but I knew that what I was doing was far more important for the growth or the scaling up of the business than that short period enjoyment in that vehicle. And that is what I want to leave us with. As an entrepreneur, you have to just start with whatever it is that is on your hands. And then you build it up. I will borrow the words of determination. And understand that you cannot enjoy the very thing that your peers are enjoying when they start life. When they are working their 9 to 5 and they are getting their salaries. And you want to enjoy the same as an entrepreneur, it won't work. And so, be ready to delay some of the things that you love. And trust me, when you build it, all those things will come back to you. Thank you.
Please, thank you. I will start by saying, be curious about what others do. Not even the sector that you work with, but the people who you are likely to meet. As an entrepreneur, you are likely to meet a lot of people before you go to someone to sell your product. The person will come to you to get knowledge on what you do. You have to know what the person is interested in, so that he knows that, hey, and so every time you are there, try to read about someone does this supply chain. Hey, when you send me supply chain, meaning BB found. So I will come to Nanama very soon. You have the money, get people who have knowledge about the things they have done to also help you to invest in them. And so I will also talk about making friends and leaving good legacy where you go. I have also been in the 9 to 6 where I took a lot of my skills from. I was a coordinator. I moved to the branch managers before I resigned from the banking sector. And so wherever I go, I leave a mark. I am smiling, I am making friends when even you don't want to be friends with me, because I know one day you will need my service and I also need your service. I think I'm coming in, I work with a contractor on site. I was working with him as an administrator. Whilst I was there, I actually didn't go to school to study administration. I didn't even do banking. Mine is public speaking. I was working with an NGO, UNFPA, before I moved to the banking. But yes, and I will go through. So back to my story. Sabi was one man who respected my personality, because you will not find me at fault. I will tell you I know, and I will go and hide somewhere and read about it and come and make presentation like I'm the boss of it. And so when I left, Sabi will call me, Abigail, when you say, Abigail, I need this and this, I know you can help me. Oh yes, sir, I'll do it for you. Me need access, I don't know anything about it. At the betching, I'll write a proposal, I give details. He'll give me plenty money. I'll remove my profits and I will give him what he needs. And so he kept recommending me to people who also needed my service. So you say, oh, Abigail there. Oh, Onikra or Bepama. And so people who know me say, Abigail, I just say Nipa. If it's not human being, I will get it for you. Yes. And so let us be curious to learn about the sectors everywhere around the world. As an entrepreneur, that is what you have to do. Know a little about every single thing, and you will enjoy your service.
So these things have guided me in life. You know, my mom once told me, I don't have money to take you to the heights you want to go, but then I'll give you God. So you can't live in my house and say, today is Sunday, I won't go to church. Oh boy. So God has been the center of everything I do. So these things guided me in life, and they still guide me. Humility, 1. Hard work, discipline, and then self-control. These are the 4 things I took upon myself to use to guide my life. Because I'm coming from a community, if any of you know Tema, I'm from Tema community too. The second stubborn community in Tema. I'm from Tema community too. I'm not from BBC, well, I'm from Elang. But it's the second stubborn community in Tema. That was where my mother conceived me, gave birth to me. I schooled there, I grew up there, I worked there. It was just 2024 that I came to Sunyani. So I told myself that I'm coming from a very humble background. I won't do what these Tema people do. Because wherever you go and you say, I'm coming from Tema, hey, I'm a bae, shewagabi, and all that. So I use these 4 things to guide my life. And so for my mom and my dad, as for hard work day. So if you want someone who strongly believes in hard work pays, I'm telling you, it is me. So wherever I go, I pray to God that, Father, let people like me, let people love me because of my hard work, not because I'll go and gossip for people to like me, no. Because of my hard work, let people like me, let people favor me. So wherever I go, I do my best. I serve. Can you imagine 7-month, 8-month pregnant woman buying food for her superiors? When I come to work, I'll ask you, boss, then I'll be there and pay. I'll get down. From first floor to ground floor, meko canteen, pregnant. You serve. Because if you want to get there, you start from the scratch. You serve.
Serve.
So hard work. So hard work really pays. So because if not for hard work, how could an acting manager, a secretary, an admin who wasn't even in Ghana work for me to get my links for aptitude test? Because my secretary told me that, though, it's because of you that I'm here. If it were to be any of your colleagues, I said, wow. Through hard work, respect. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your background, whether you are from the rich family or... Please be submissive. Humble yourself. Because the Bible has said it. If you humble yourself, God will lift you up. Every word in the Bible is true. So please, hard work. God pays. Hard work pays. Wherever you find yourself, don't say... I normally speak to the national service interns in my office. These days, that's all being national service. You don't get the work. Unlike before, when you do national service, you are assured that at the end of national service, you may be absorbed. But these days, because it's not like that, they come, they do anyhow, and then they go. So I talk to them, wherever you find yourself, learn what you are supposed to learn. It might help you in the future. You don't know where you find yourself. Humble yourself, learn, then work hard, because hard work pays. God is going to reward you one day. So hard work hard. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to work in the corporate world, wherever you find yourself, work hard. There's one thing the entrepreneurs forgot to tell you, that you should pay your taxes as well. So please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And sorry for making you stand too long. We will take a question, and what I'll do is, if the question falls on this side, they will answer it. So please go ahead and give us your question, so I can blend the questioning and your final submissions.
Mr. Oli and Mrs. Dakwa, please, my question is, I really enjoyed the presentation. So we said business is by choice. And Mrs. Dakwa said you have to be curious. And then curiosity on the fact that if you want to move far, if you want to rise in business, you have to be curious. And being a choice, meaning you have to, it's a decision that you've taken, so you have to really work on it. But in the presentation, I didn't hear of anything like a challenge that you went through.
So, the challenges you faced and how you dealt with it. Just give us
the challenges.
Challenge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the challenges never stops. So it's not like a one thing that you cross and you don't come back to it again. Like I stated earlier on, even deciding to be an entrepreneur presented a challenge. Why is it a challenge? For me, because we had done internship and other stuff, I had good companies that were ready to work with me. And so I didn't have to, quote unquote, force myself to start something if I didn't want to. I was that good. I had opportunities, Accra and Kumasi, that I could just roll in and then I would start working. So deciding that you wake up and you don't even know where you are going, because we talk like it, and because probably you have come to our office, you would think that that is how it is. No. In the early days, you have colleagues who wake up and go to work, and you don't have anywhere you are going, and you are saying you are an entrepreneur. So for a long time, even though I owned a stream, I never liked the idea of on my card you see Obed and you see manager or something. I had nobody managing. And so, yes, it is something that I always say that it's a lonely journey, because waking up as a graduate and not knowing even where you are going, it's not something that you can take it light. You come and roam in town thinking that you get something to do. Few people will give you promises and nothing will come out of it. And so it's so easy for you to just say that, look, let me just go back to where I had my opportunities and just go back into the 9 to 5 and get my monthly salary. And I'm saying that it never stops, because at this level now, you have brought people from their home, 14, and you are saying that you are an entrepreneur. And when you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, I don't know how the month gets too fast. So whilst you are praying that the month will get fast, we are praying that it delays. So the challenges never stops, but like I said, it takes a lot of sacrifice, and I still think that you can't be an entrepreneur and enjoy everything that your colleagues are enjoying when you start life, or even at a very high level, because to date there are things you still love that you have to sacrifice for your business. And I don't think that is not a challenge. It's a very big challenge.
Okay, thank you. Good morning once again to everyone. Honorable Mahama on floor. Please, for a while now I've been thinking, at what point do you call yourself an entrepreneur? I'm asking this question because most people have endeavored to venture into entrepreneurship and get stuck. Even to the point where someone starts selling cocoa by the roadside, they start calling themselves entrepreneurs. Start selling something small, they begin to call themselves entrepreneurs. As you were speaking, you realize that you were bold to call yourself an entrepreneur because you have established or built yourself to a certain point. And so for someone who is starting selling maybe shoes, bags, wigs or anything, at what point can you confidently call yourself that I am an entrepreneur? Because currently you can leave your job and go, but it will still be running. But with someone who is selling the cocoa by the roadside, you dare leave it, come bedo. And so at what point can you confidently say that I am an entrepreneur? Thank you.
So instead of you guys answering, let me let Mr. Ite and Anama talk on this one, and you can add your submission in there because of time.
Just before I go to Muhammad's submission, I wanted to also have a contribution to Carl's question. I do both. So we should also come to understand that, especially when it comes to family, it is very important that you balance. Because I work and get paid at the end of the month. My wife, for instance, is an entrepreneur, and she does that full time. She has factories and she does her things. But like Raobi said, you are praying that the month will not end because life is not that easy. When you are looking for finances in business in Ghana, it's one of the most difficult things to do. That is why when you get married, it's important that you guys balance so that you can fit yourselves in. Because whilst I work a normal job and get paid at the end of the month, at the end of her month in her business, she may not even have anything. At times, she has even more and extra to give than myself. But we both balance it well so that the family will benefit. And that's what is important. That you sit and look at. When you are alone, it's very difficult. That is why God realized that Adam was alone and he said, no, it is not right for Adam to be alone. That is very, very important. Balancing both of you keeps family running. Now back to his question. When do you call yourself an entrepreneur? Everybody has their definition of being an entrepreneur. But for me, when you are able to create and make sure that your creation stays and stabilizes and continuously move, that is an entrepreneur. I rest my case.
So let's go back to Richard. You give your submission. Then Nanama to also make a submission.
All right, thank you. If you really want to maintain your position or go ahead with seek for promotion in your corporate environment, there are two things that I'll conclude. You need a skill, and you need to build your relationship with the top very well. Now, these two people that all of us seated here, we know, Messi and Ronaldo. We say Messi was born with it, but Ronaldo did what? He learned the skill. But he has learned it to the extent that we all applaud him when he learned it to the extent that we compare him to the one that we say he was born with. When David Beckham was playing, after their training session, he alone goes to a field and he trains more than the time that they train together on the field. Semenyo does the same thing these days. And we can all attest to what Semenyo is doing for the English Premier League. So your skills at the workplace is very, very important. I see a lot of people come to my office when I was a sales manager, as a branch manager, and you see that this person will not go anywhere. You see it, this person, because he doesn't have any skills. So whatever you are doing, improve on your skills. If you have to go back to school to improve on it, go back to school and improve on it. If nowadays I am not the one to tell you, AI is everywhere. You can learn every skill by your own. By your own, you can learn it. Then to end, build a very good relationship at the top. Because when Proverbs 18:16 said your talent will make way for you to sit with great people. Who are the great people? They are your bosses. The people who are the top. Because the hard work alone will not get you to the top. Not to say hard work is bad, no. Why is it that you've been working hard, but the guy that just came 2 years ago has been promoted, but you are there? There's corporate politics. Get yourself into it. Whether you like it or not, there's corporate politics. And you must get yourself into the corporate politics. When you are not liked by anybody, get yourself to be liked by somebody at the top. Because he will be your promoter. Listen to what Mrs. Richmond's wife said. The person was in Pakistan, but she was able to work things out for her. If she has not built that relationship with her, she wouldn't sacrifice that for her. It's very important. And one of the insurance companies, the moment you join, they give you a book to read, and the book tells you that hard work alone will not get you to the top. By building your way up with the top people will make the politicians. You see that this person he goes everywhere, but they come to power and he doesn't get any of the positions. Why? He doesn't have any godfather at the top to speak to him. So get that as a corporate person as well.
Give us something quick.
Okay, so just so those who are doing both would know, for me, one of the reasons why, I know nobody has talked about it, but one of the reasons why I take the opportunity to do what I do on the side is because your 9 to 5 might not be there every day. If you haven't lose your job before, you won't understand. So I encourage people to always do something on the side. I know not everybody can be doing all those things, but trust me, if you search well, you'll be able to do something. And then when you are doing the 9 to 5 and then you're also doing your own thing, make use of technology. I'm happy you talked about AI. You can be in your house, send emails, you'll be there doing live and selling your goods online, doing everything, trying to check what you, and I think somebody advised me in this church, Ben, thank you, that now you need a camera in that shop. And I realized that, hey, now all this, what have I been thinking? I thought I've kept in some loops and all that, trying to close all the gaps, but it helped. And now I have that. I can clearly see what is happening over there, and you can ask questions even from where you sit. That I understand and you by or saying PA because you want to, So I think it's also very important. And lastly, I want to talk about the fact that the entrepreneur, where would you be before you become an entrepreneur? Any level. Be open-minded. Don't think despite is an entrepreneur, so you are not. You are. Start from today. Even if you are going to take your mother's 1 CD to start something, start it. And then you realize that people are sitting in their homes making money. And you are wondering, hey, now one can first because you don't look and you don't check. So I'm encouraging people to start from today. Do it, try, ask questions, and then you'll be able to make something out of it. Thank you.
Awesome submissions, everyone. I think there's one more. We'll take that last question and then 2 more questions. Okay, 2 questions and then I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, church. My name is Bright and I have a question. So my question is, what advice would you give someone who wants to start something here in Ghana, and that thing that the person wants to do is capital intensive? What advice would you give, especially knowing that money is very hard to come by? The person has nothing but has ideas that he wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to start something. What advice would you give? Thank you.
Thank you. I think that is a question you get almost all the time. Capital. And I won't sit here and pretend that I know a little. Capital is nowhere for you because it takes something for people to trust you with their money. And so the idea is yours. You have the picture. You are describing it. You know what is in it. The banks don't know. Your friends don't know. Your family don't know. So you start by building social capital. Currently, it's probably the most expensive capital. Because when you came for 100 CDs from me, and you said that you are going to return, and you decided that you are forgotten, I put it down. It starts in small ways. A lot of times people will tell you they have this idea that they want to. I will just use mine as an example. Our business is highly, highly capital intensive. Because one machine can cost you, let's say, 100,000 CDs, but you don't have the money. Do you wait till you are able to raise that money or you start? So if you don't have capital, you have to first of all assess the kind of business you want to do and check where you can start from. For me, I started with going around asking hotels and schools whether they need, let's say, ID cards, whether they need letterheads. Those things, I didn't have the machine for it. But once they trusted me with it, Elizabeth, for example, gave me their first job, go and do our letters or something. And I go to shop B to explain my problem. Sometimes, if you are lucky, they will print it for you. You deliver, and then you come and do what? Pay. And that is where the problem has been in Ghana. So he will come, you do the work, and he will decide that he has forgotten. The issue of capital, going to the bank and all those, it doesn't work. And I'm just being honest. When I started, I went to EcoBank, told them all the plans, the needs in this area, and what I could do for 5,000. I went there for almost 6 months. It never came. But when I was able to start something small, and like I said, delayed gratification, so the very thing that I had, TV, basic things, as somebody starting life, I sold all of them. Because you have to be able to invest in yourself first. At that time, Opportunity International, because I was saving small, they gave me my first loan to buy my first printer. And so we just have to be frank with it. Don't assume that there's capital sitting anywhere that you will just go and present yourself and they'll give you. Aside that, or having said that, I would also not dismiss that you can access a lot of things in the system. There are a lot of money in the system. Talk of, let's say, Ghana Investment Promotion, talk of, let's say, Ghana Skill Development Fund. So many of them. Involve yourself in those seminars as well. Because sometimes we have always politicized some of these things. Just 2 years ago, we won something under Ghana Skill Development Fund. And to be very honest, I didn't know anybody there. I saw it in the papers. I also applied just like every other person. They came to do their due diligence. And they realized that this is real. And they gave us the funds. So, from where you are coming from, it is an area you have to also look at. But I would just say that build things up yourself and start from where you can. Don't assume that anybody is going to take that big money and hand it over to you just because you have an idea.
We'll answer and then I'll close.
Thank you very much. Good morning, House. Okay, please, I have 2 questions. And the first one goes to those who are doing both. This is not for myself, but for maybe it can help others, and I've also talked to people who ask the same question. Please, you spoke about balance, Mr. Okay. And that was the financial aspect. So, assuming you have a family, you have a business, you are an employee yourself, how do you ensure balance in growth in all those areas at the same time? And the second question goes to the entrepreneurs. Obi, you haven't been an employee. So, Sister Abigail, at what point can you say you are maybe quitting this job to take up the entrepreneurship? And then what are some of the challenges that you can talk to us or those in the corporate world? What advice or what are some of the challenges that they should expect? Thank you. I don't know if
So the reason we discussed about the support in terms of the balance, you can be a mother, you are even a family person, whether you are single or not, and then you have a lot of responsibilities. Remember, when you are starting something and you have a vision, it comes, you see, people start something without org. That is organogram. They are not worried because in their minds, no. So the reason why we talked about the support, it means that you are not doing that alone. We are here, we have employers or employees somewhere. So it means that you are working with people. The reason you have to make use of any kind of learning, anything that you have, technology and all that, because working as an entrepreneur and doing the 9 to 5 already is very overwhelming. And then you always have to sacrifice something. So it means that you are not sleeping. For me, the last time people ask me, are you not sleeping? And I tell them I sleep only when I'm tired because I'm used to that. So sometimes at 12, you send me a message and realize that I'll respond. It's not good for my health, but I try to balance it. And then I'm imagining when I have kids too. That would be very serious, but I don't do it alone. In fact, when you see me instruct people, you'll be surprised because I'll call you. Not because I'm trying to put pressure on myself, but I'm coordinating. It means that you have to be very articulate with everything that you do. People don't sit, they don't plan, they don't do anything. If you want to do both things, try and plan. Try and have a way and a vision, and you'll be able to do it. Thank you.
Auntie Debbie, thank you for your question. I'm just recalling back to what I have been through. Trying to move from what I used to do. I took the decision to move from the corporate world when I had a baby, because I was traveling, I was driving every day from here to Whittiam to work with my baby. You were a managers where at the banking world, you can't have a baby cry there. When a subordinate bring a child, what will you do? And so, meanwhile, whilst I was working, I was still selling. I was doing food for some of the staff or another work elsewhere, because I've also done some little work in the mining area before, whilst I left there and came to the banking. So I knew people. That's why boss talked about knowing the people on top. They have also moved to start their own business. And so I was talking to them. I can supply you water. I can cook food for your people. So I don't cook the food, but I also get a caterer to also do some of the food, and it's in my name. I pay. So I come back to the gentleman. Entrepreneur, you can be the financier of the job and also enjoy the grace of the work. Coming back to my thing, it gets to a time when you know you have established by knowing that at least someone will call me. You don't get settled and say, "May see me dying, I have everything," before you moved in. What is making you moved? Is it at the job you are exhausted, you are not happy again, or your business is doing well, so you want to focus on it? And so it's up to you. Is your business doing well? That Nanama said, now she's at work and she's looking. I know very soon you know that Nanama is making shoes herself. She has a big factory like here, and she's making the shoes and the bags. So now she wouldn't need a new month's money. It's but now, because the money is not coming much, you have to push the little that 9 to 5 help you to get. I was also lucky to have a supportive husband who was financing my entrepreneurship. I do it and I collapse. I have sold wigs, I've sold boots, I've sold reflectors, I've sold water, I've sold mango, I've made food, breakfast. Yes, but some goes, you see some of the things will be lying there. As far as I see some of the things there. But when you speak to him, he will invest in you. He can sell. I do the selling. But he will push money in. Sometimes I feel bad, but I have to take the money. So at a point that you know you are getting an income from elsewhere, you know the family needs you more than the work. Sometimes you go to work, especially career choices, you are in a work that you are not just happy. Psychologically, it is mind draining. You can't give your best. Someone is distracting you, your boss, especially we in the banking, it was target. Like, because you didn't have target. Enough is enough. My refi. Yeah, so I think it is just that you should know that said I'm a boss kind, you don't get everything enough. You don't say the challenge is done. I have used my work, and please, those who are doing both, I heard my sister, she never said at her, when she's at work, you will see her calling her shoe people to say, if you do that, you don't get blessed. We are Christians. The person who is paying you assigned the due time to the person. So because entrepreneurs, we don't sleep. As late as, especially now that we are working with people outside Ghana, you'll be there, it will be 12 noon and someone in Canada or US will just text you, I need a surprise bouquet for my wife. You check it, you look at the money, please, how much? You say anything, just I know you can do it. When you see that comment, you can't sleep again. Because yes, you know the person will pay anything you mention. So I say let us be focused, like we have said, and embrace the challenges that are yet to come. If you move from that side, it is not for the comfort of it. Know that there are challenges coming, and you sit up, hold the hands of your partner or your person you are working with. If it's yourself, embrace it and know that you are going to do extra work and you are ready for it. Because the things we don't even want to do for the 9 to 8, we want to do it for ourselves. Entrepreneur is not that simple. I know my boss will say it. We don't sleep. Sometimes you just hear, no better. We have a customer to satisfy. So it is the readiness, the willingness to go through, to have someone to talk to, and achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists. I think they deserve a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your personal stories, your personal journeys.